Hi, everybody, and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. Today, I'd like to talk to you about flipped classrooms. Our traditional model of instruction is very instructor-centered. According to this model, the professor stands in front of the class and delivers a lecture. The students are supposed to write down what the professor says and somehow learn from this interaction. At this point, we have plenty of research that indicates that this model is not the most effective way that we can instruct our students. No matter how engaging a lecture is, it is still less effective in allowing students to achieve learning outcomes than more active means of instruction. So let's look at one of those ways that we can make our instruction more active, more student-centered, and more engaging. A flipped classroom is one that reverses the normal flow of content delivery and activities. In a standard class, we see content introduction through lecture and practice outside of class as homework. In the flipped classroom, students learn the content prior to the scheduled class time. This frees up time in class that would normally be used for lecture to engage in more active learning exercises in which the students can engage with both the content and one another to reinforce, clarify, and deepen their understanding. Although it can take a little bit more work and advanced planning, there are a number of tangible benefits to flipping your classroom. First, you can provide a better individualized learning experience with students at the center. Rather than a one-size-fits-all lecture, you can provide access to different forms of content, including lectures, readings, and multimedia content, allowing students choice and agency in accessing the knowledge. This is fantastic because learners are diverse. You shift the accountability for student learning from the instructor to the learner. That means that professors can't be the scapegoats for poor student performance in a flipped classroom. You also allow students to move through the content at the pace that they determine rather than the one that you determine as you lecture. Another tangible benefit is that you can use your classroom time more effectively, recapping areas that the students have difficulty with or answering specific questions they had about the material. Finally, there are increased opportunities for active learning, which we know allows greater achievement of learning outcomes than passive learning. As with anything else in education, you can flip a classroom well or you can flip it poorly. There are a few things that you should keep in mind that will help you to plan effective flipped classroom experiences. You should always clearly indicate to the students what they need to do outside of class to prepare for the relevant in-class activities. Be sure that you emphasize how the content-based activities will relate to the student's ability to achieve the learning outcomes of the lesson or the course. Provide appropriate guidance to help them get from the content sources what you want them to get. Before the class meeting time, you should gauge student understanding with a low-stakes or practice quiz so that you know what you need to recap or clarify during the class time. Because students are often more comfortable participating in small groups, remember to focus on group activities in the classroom. Remember that your role in these activities is not central. You're not a teacher, you're a facilitator. Help the students to express their understanding and to learn from one another. Be sure to describe how the activity in question will help them to build their knowledge, skills, and dispositions related to the learning outcomes of the course or the lesson. Finally, make sure that you wrap up, just as you would after breakout groups at a conference. Help the students to review what they've learned as well as what other students have learned. Flipping your classroom can be a great way to engage your students. You don't need to flip all of your lessons, but you can include a few flipped exercises at key points throughout the term. It can be a great way to introduce a new topic or to conclude a topic. And that's this week's teaching tip, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Teaching and Learning here at UWSP. Remember that at CITL we offer support for course design, learning activities, assessment, and pedagogy. Please schedule a consultation using our website today.